Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we'll be comparing the new Ford Ranger to the Chevy Colorado to see which American midsize pickup truck is best. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Ford here in Provo and the Chevy here in Provo for giving me some time with both of the trucks. I'll include a link to both their websites in the description down below so you can check what they have currently. And then as always, a link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get into it. Under the hood of the Colorado, we have a turbocharged 2.7-liter four-cylinder that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 18 around town and then 23 on the highway, with power outputs being 310 horsepower and then 430 pound-feet of torque. Now, powering the Ranger is a turbocharged 2.3-liter four-cylinder that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 20 around town and then 24 on the highway, with power outputs being 270 horsepower and then 310 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this comparison, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So both these trucks have more of an entry-level off-road package, but they look a little bit different. So Z71 here, you can see they've blacked out the grille. You've got fog lights. You've got a really sharp design with the new Colorado headlights. You do have tow hooks here at the bottom, but you also have a big air dam at the bottom of the Z71. Whereas the Ranger with the FX4 package, you can see that we've got this like big beefy protection up front. You got fog lights, you got the C-shaped headlights there. And so the Ranger kind of looks more rugged, more off-road ready compared to the Z71 package on the Colorado here. And then when it comes to tires and wheels, Z71 265/65/18 in the front and over in the rear. You can see with the wheels you've got the silver with the metallic gray. And then notice how this is all blacked out here. And then we do have leaf springs in the back with the Colorado. And then here's your full side profile. I think it's a good looking truck from the side. I mean, look at that with the stance and all. Tire and wheel setup with the Ranger is 255/70/17 in the front and over in the rear. You can see here with the wheels, you've got the metallic gray there, all-terrain tires just like the Z71. Interesting to see with the fender flares here, and then you got the fixed side step there. FX4 on the side, of course. Leaf springs in the back of the Ranger. We also have that cool bedside step with the Ranger. Then here's a few steps back. It has more of a traditional truck look. It's not as like wide-bodied as the Colorado. Now time to talk about beds and tailgates. So slow lowers. We got some outlets here in the Ranger bed. No protection or anything with this one. You can always add that in after the fact. And then lifting up the tailgate, really easy to lift up. And then popping over to the Colorado. Same thing with the tailgate, slow lowers down. With this, we've got an outlet here. And then you've got the Colorado's kind of like protection here on the tailgate with the storage space there. And then again, lifting that up, super easy. Bumper steps with the Colorado. And they'll get the design difference. The Colorado has like lots of different body lines, whereas the Ranger, everything's a little bit more simplistic. The taillights are shockingly similar. I mean, look at that. The Ranger design versus with the Colorado's design. But let me know which look you like best. Now, legroom here in the Ranger is actually really good for a mid-size pickup truck. Anyways, I like this trim here and the little door handle inside. Got some charging action down below. And then you can see here with the seats, nice trim throughout, cloth trim. And then headroom's good. Now the Colorado is not bad for a mid-size pickup truck, but not as spacious as the Ranger. You do have nice door panel trim. And I will say these seats, I think I like these more than the Rangers. They look a little bit cooler. The window here in the back is actually manual. And then we've got some USBs and everything, just like the Ranger. And then headroom back here, it's good. Now the Ranger is pretty traditional because you do have to stick the key in the ignition. Payload capacity is 1,567 pounds. And I like the trim here on the front door. Blind spot ring with the mirrors. And then such a solid sound with the close. Steering wheel design is pretty cool. You can see the soft touch all around. We've got practical controls in the front, including stuff like adaptive cruise control here. Got your regular stocks on the back. And then we do have this gauge cluster, so partially digital, but it does have the kind of like analog elements on the side. Easy enough to use, just like other modern Fords. And then in reverse, we do have a 360 camera system. Solid with the trajectory lines. They do turn with the steering wheel. And then notice that there's like double climate controls. So you have it on the screen, and then below it you have the little physical buttons. Heated seats, all of that. And then See this little pull down tab here for the different equipment. My favorite actually is on the pull down tab. You can see that not only can you adjust everything, but we can pop into like this off-road setting. Pops up the off-road camera, shows you tire pressure, you can access the rear locking differential, all of that. Shifter for the 10-speed, and then we've got our wireless phone charging pad area with the USBs. Some cup holders here, parking brake, and then this is like our drive mode select with the off-road modes. So you can see it pops that up. And then we've got our traditional 2-speed transfer case. Center console's got good space. Nice trim here on the top. And the Ranger does have a power sliding rear window. And then the MSRP on this is $45,795. Let's pop over into the Colorado. The sticker's for $46,455. And Colorado has a push button. Ooh. Payload on this is 1,516 pounds. Nice trim on the door panel. Like the red stitching, it's pretty cool. Solid sound. Trailer brake controls down below. There we go. And then you can see with the steering wheel, nice trim on it, by the way. And then we got this cool digital gauge cluster. You can change the viewpoints with this. Now this has Chevy's 360 camera system, kind of OP in the truck segment. Tons of different viewpoints. So I think they've done a really good job with this camera system. And then, you know, response time with the screen, it's quick, it's easy to use. I like the horizontal layout. We do have physical controls for the climate, but not for the light controls. Always got to mention that. But dual zone climate, heated seats, all of that. I like you can roll down all the windows at once, kind of fun. Wireless phone charging pad. This has drive modes with this dial, but also it has an advanced four-wheel drive system with four-wheel auto. Shifter for that 8-speed, parking brake. You can see the cup holders here. And then the Ranger seats are just kind of like normal looking cloth seats. Pretty, you know, buckety with the bolsters, but this looks cool with the camo and everything. Then we just have a traditional glove box. And then you guys already know the glass back there, it's manual. So with that being said, let's take these out and see which one drives the best. Well, let's talk about visibility in the Colorado. Show visibility with the hood. Both mirrors do a blind spot monitoring throughout the rest of the rear. And Chevy Colorado away. So the seats in the Colorado, pretty comfortable. Center part's a little bit firmer. It's kind of like a Chevy thing. You always seem to have firmer seats. But in terms of the steering, it's electric, it's light. Really good torque out of this engine. This engine feels pretty monstrous. I will say that. Suspension damping is pretty solid too. Doesn't seem like you have to, I mean, you have to get into it a little bit for the torque to feel like it's really coming on, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's a smooth drive. Yeah, it has that kind of like modern driving feel that you get in a lot of these pickup trucks now. Oh my gosh. It's, you feel the torque. This doesn't necessarily have like way more, it's a 310 horsepower. That's high for the mid-size pickup truck segment, but it's not like way more than other trucks. But the thing you do feel in this is the torque, 430 pound-feet. It's no joke. So yeah, the Colorado, it drives well. I think it's got solid equipment. It's a nice drive. A couple things, I don't like the whole light situation with the lights in the screen. And then this engine, you know, it's been out for a little bit, but you know, I do have some, I guess, reliability concerns with this powertrain, right? I just don't, it's not proven, I guess. It's been out for a little bit, but not long enough, I suppose. So that's the only thing with the Colorado it's a little bit of a worry. But yeah, with that being said, overall it's solid mid-size pickup truck, and it drives well, and it's It's a torque monster. Well, let's talk about visibility here on the Ranger. Visibility of the hood, both the mirrors, and rear. So, Ranger versus Colorado. Comparison for the generations, right? I will say that this trips me out in the Ranger because that has like a little kind of like volume icon, but then you have volume control there. It always messes with my head. So compared to the Colorado, it drives shockingly similar. Steering and kind of the general handling is, again, very similar to the Colorado. But I would say where there's a difference is the torque. This has substantially less torque, 120 pound-feet less, and you feel it. The Ranger doesn't feel slow, but it doesn't have that same shove that the Colorado has. So you do have to get into the throttle more so with the Ranger than with the Colorado at low speeds at least. So I think that's the first key difference. Now getting up and moving here with the Ranger. Yeah, see, it doesn't feel, this is weird. It doesn't feel any slower than the Colorado. Like you think it would, because it's got 40 less horsepower, 120 pound-feet of torque less. It's a big difference. But it just gets up and moves just as quick. It just doesn't feel quite as big of a shove. That's what you have with the Colorado. A person just sitting in the middle of the roundabout. Don't think they know what they're doing. But yeah, I mean, driving them back to back, they both drive very similar. American truck brands kind of have some similarities, but the Ranger, it feels just as quick. It just doesn't feel like it's got quite as much punch as what you have in that Colorado. So let me know which one you like the best.